Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. We're going to do a divine feminine check-in. So I started doing this thing where I just pull a card for the overall reading, and it's nice. It's just like a little flavor to understand what the heck we're about to walk into. So I'm going to leave this card. We received the clarity card. Okay, so feminines are seeking clarity. Okay, let's drop in. Okay, we have finding. Let me start this over here because I don't know. I get a vibe. This is going to be a big one. Big reading. Okay, anything else for feminines? Anything else for feminines? Clarity around home, or what is home frequency to them? Tapping into self-care, taking accountability for our well-being. We have life purpose in reverse and willpower. Interesting, those kind of came out back to back. If you could see this figure here, it's a figure of what looks like a woman, and she is holding the world in one hand and the moon in the other. So honoring the willpower and endurance of divine feminine spirit, that we dance between these polarities. Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. It might happen. We'll deal with it when it does. Yeah, so honoring the polarities that of how much the feminine can actually hold. The moon, we honor our connection to the moon. We honor the feminine symbol of the moon. We honor the moon's cycles. We honor the death and rebirth. And then we have happiness in reverse and also fertility in reverse. I'm going to put this right here. And then I'm going to leave this on the side. Okay. In the unconscious, we have beauty. I feel like we just had this in a different unconscious position. Okay. Let's feel into this. Okay, feminines, keep going on your path of introspection and excavation of spirit. Only you can discern what ignites your truth, what ignites your passion. So clarity, isn't it interesting that home and life purpose are both in the reverse here? Let me feel into that for a moment. So some of you may be exploring clarity around what is home to you. And this could be, let's take it literal first, right? Let's honor that it could be your 3D home, where you live, your apartment, your house, your adobe, your yurt, wherever, your tent, wherever you decide to rest your head at night. This could be seeking clarity that maybe something in your home space does not feel as aligned as it could be. So there may be some reevaluation right now. So honor that inquiry, and feminines try to create sacred space to actually think about these things. It's really easy to get caught up in our crazy fast-paced life where we just have a list of to-do items and we're so used to just checking things off that we don't really schedule time to actually think, right? It's a process. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Okay, sorry, I had to sip water. This is interesting because I don't normally start the reading with my throat cutting out, but it is, sometimes that's, collective throat chakra stuff, and sometimes spirit's telling me to shut up for a second. So let me just feel into which is it for a moment. I also noticed that I'm running out of breath more than normal. Like it's almost like I'm running through my breath too fast, and then I run out and can't say the next thing I want to say. So there's a lot of another message in that is feminines, it's really time to take up space in your life. It's time to honor if there are certain things that are making you feel suffocated in this life. Is it a partner? Is it your family? I know it's frowned upon to say this, but it might even be your children. And let's remove all the stigma attached to mothers actually taking the space that they need to take care of self. Let's support the mothers in our lives. Let's support other women who are really struggling with that, the kind of the quadruple burden of motherhood and womanhood, and dismantling all these systems that no longer serve us, but to try to do the double labor of dismantling while you're also trying to function within the infrastructure that is not serving you is freaking exhausting. Let's really honor how traumatizing that could be. It could feel like you're trying to climb uphill only to realize you're on a treadmill. It's that feeling of like working so hard and not getting anywhere. So let us honor that within the home, if there is chaos, there is also clarity around the next corner. So take space to find self again, to find your center for love in this flavor of chaos. Okay, that was the literal meaning of home, or kind of through the lens of a literal home. Let's now talk about home frequency. So feminine energy is in the inquiry of what do you need? What do I need, right? We're asking this of self. What do I need to nurture this home frequency within myself? Is it time with friends? Is it time in connection and union with source? Is it time with my beloved? Is it time with self to ask really tough questions, right? To do this consciousness work. I have friends that are with me in doing this work pretty much 24/7, and it's exhausting. But we've learned to kind of alchemize the chaos, and we are allowed to approach each, not allowed, that's the wrong word, but we love ourselves enough to just be present. And then when something crosses our path in the present moment, yes, then we can gather, pick up our mat and walk, so to speak. We can take accountability for what flows through the system when it's flowing through. But this is a very specific type of life, right? Not everyone can spend every waking moment doing this work, and nor should you. It's really intense, and it's not always sustainable. You have to have kind of a lot of boundaries with self, and a lot of I was going to say self-care, but that doesn't even cut it. It's true endurance and willpower, which is interesting. I'm using the word on this card right here. A lot of willpower to know when enough is enough, to know that I've come too far in this moment. I've gone so deep into the trenches that I now need to pause and balance that with a little pleasure, with a little fun, with a little happiness. So that has taken me years to kind of hone that skill of like, oh, I'm getting too close to the edge of myself and I don't feel grounded in this chaos. If I start to notice that the chaos is starting to have power over me, that's when I know, okay, time to back off of doing this work, of, watching readings, of reading more books, listening to more podcasts, whatever, fill in the blank. So, feminines, I call upon you to come into deeper truth with your authentic reality. We can have a really bold vision for our life, and it's a beautiful, sacred thing. However, sometimes that bold vision can start to feel like a burden. It can start to feel like it's weighing us down and creating a greater space between where we are and where we want to be. And that's just not kind to self. So if you are feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders right now, drop it. Drop all of it. I'm inviting you and encouraging you to drop everything, to bring all of your loving awareness to the present moment. And what if if that's very difficult for yourself, I challenge you to set a timer on your phone or on your watch, or even your kitchen timer or wherever, and just say, okay, for the next 3 minutes, I am going to be radically present with what's happening right here and now. That means what's happening with my breath, my body, and my environment around me, my emotional truth, whatever is coming up in that 3 minutes. And then when the timer is up, you're allowed to like drop all of that effort, right? Because sometimes being present is incredibly difficult, especially if we're prone to rumination and spiraling thoughts and anxiety and really dense things like this. So it's a practice. It's a practice like, lifting or getting big muscles. Like you can't just roll up in the gym one day and say, okay, I'm ready for big muscles, give them to me, right? It's a disciplined, slow and steady wins the race kind of deal here. Okay. All right, Spirit, where do we want to go? I just want to get some goddess cards because those tend to flavor. Isn't it interesting that I've been using these kind of, I think I said it. This was the first card I pulled. It's the clarity card. And I think I said something that it gives us a taste of what the reading is going to be about. So there's something here, feminines, about you. Bring your awareness to your mouth. Like literally, what is going on with your mouth right now? I know that's really random and specific, but it's coming up. It's not just the energetic throat chakra stuff. Is there actually something going on with your mouth or your teeth or your tongue? How is your immune system these days? What color is your tongue? You can look up what all those different things mean. You can go to a naturopathic doctor or something like that. Are you putting off the dentist? Are you putting off the ear, nose, and throat doctor? I don't know why I'm getting this specific, but clearly it's for someone out there. So don't prolong these things. This is hilarious that this is coming out, but have some of you not flossed lately? It's time to bring back flossing and do what you can. I know flossing is really hard for some people. So if you don't like the old school long string, get the little floss picks or something that feels easier to you. Or even, I think, I'm not a doctor, don't, hold this against me or hold whatever, but I know water picks are a really big deal in the oral health community. They say they're incredible. I've never used one, but if you don't like the feeling of floss between your teeth, for some of you that are very sensitive, I have really sensitive gums, and yes, that builds up over time with flossing, but sometimes it almost feels like nails on a chalkboard. So yeah, maybe the water pick is a better option. I have no idea why I'm talking about oral and dental health, but there it is. That just came up in the reading. Other throat, mouth things. Are you speaking your truth? Do you have a confrontation with a friend or a coworker or a boss that's outstanding? Take care of these things. Speak your truth. And if you don't quite know how to bridge that gap back into some sort of grounded, easeful connection, ask for help. Ask for help. If it's a corporate thing, maybe you could even go to HR and say, this is the situation. Do you have any advice? In my personal corporate experience, HR has not been that helpful, but it's been many years. So hopefully they're way better than they were at my establishment. But you can go to an elder. Maybe it's a parent. Maybe it's just an elder friend, or maybe it's a spiritual leader of like, help me. I really am struggling with this, and allow yourself to be humbled through that experience. Now, another message that's coming through, and this might be difficult. Do some of you have outstanding conversations with your children? So this is a little difficult, and they're showing me like a range from young children to adult children. And, this could be a very tense situation at times, especially. I have no idea where this is coming from. I'm just going to share it with you, but have some of you been estranged from your adult children for many years? There's something about that. There's a message here that there is still hope to reinstate your home energy. even if you have adult children, or not even adult children, young adult children who are living outside of the home, you can still repair that frequency of love, that frequency of home space with your children. So have faith and trust in this process that you will be able to birth a reconciliation with these people, places, and things. Okay, I quickly, we pulled resistance. So yeah, some of this stuff feels a little uncomfortable. It makes sense that you might be feeling a little resistance. And then we have live out loud. Okay, that's taking this whole message in another reading. So in another way. So let's see what else comes out. What does that say? Storm. Okay. Celestial alignment. Okay, people. Feminines, delicious, divine, beautiful, sacred feminines. Some of you have a truth that you need to speak to your family that has been preventing you from living your truth out loud. So one of the loudest message I'm getting is that some of you have not come out to your family. And there's a really beautiful message here that it's not going to be as stormy as you thought it was going to be. So be brave and, put your own happiness on the altar. You deserve to be happy and live life in alignment with your truth. And so I've never had a message like this come out, but it's very specific. It's, some of you define feminine energies are having resistance to speaking this truth to family, to friends, coming out at work maybe, but it's not going, you're going to be met with calm. And I don't know that it's going to be met with love and celebration, but the message is clear that it's not going to be as rocky as you expect it to be. Okay, anything else, Spirit? And mind you, this doesn't just have to be coming out to your family in terms of your sexuality or, the way you're living your life. This could also be like, I had to come out of the closet of being an oracle reader. That was very difficult for me. And I cracked up because when I finally did it, I posted it on my personal social media and everything. No one gave a crap. And I was like, oh, okay. So that drama was on me. And I had to really take accountability. And I honor that things like sexuality or however you are choosing to live your life, it doesn't have to be necessarily out there, but it could be perceived as out there to your family, whatever that kind of abrasion you feel is, whatever flavor of that you're experiencing. Again, it's not going to be as rocky as you expected. Okay, anything else, Spirit? Yeah, we have sacred lust in reverse. That's a weird message to get right now. And then in reverse also we have fearless love. Okay, we're getting more. Do you see how this is kind of like leaning in towards sacred sexuality? So, hold on, I need more. Let's talk more, Spirit. Anything else? Cards are very jumpy. Okay, brazen and seasons. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that message that there is a season for everything, and sometimes seasons bring storms and rain, and sometimes they bring sunshine and flowers, and sometimes they bring crazy snowstorms, and that we are not able to control what happens around us, but we absolutely can be bold enough to choose a love-aligned life, to choose a path that is rooted in love and that flows from love. And this is, I just got really emotional when I put my hands on this fearless love card. It's fearless love in reverse. And excuse me, the message I'm getting that's really tugging at my heartstrings is that it is the most difficult thing to hold your center for love in the chaos of someone's hate. It is brutal. It is brutal. And yet We can still have empathy for these people, places, and things. We could still hold space for the chaos that exists within their hearts, within their minds and bodies. You know, even though we have this sacred lust card, what I'm really getting from it is this is actually, hold on, I need to wipe the tears out of my eyes because it's blurring my vision. Okay. Sacred lust for me in this moment, in this reading, is anything that we lust after, not just, sensually or sexually or intimate, in an intimate capacity, but like if you lust after sports, if you lust after, it's anything that you bring all of that life force to. There's something here about reclaiming what ignites your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus. There's something about the lower three chakras here and really honoring what ignites your truth. Like your parents might not give a crap if you're gay, but they might really care if you want to be an oracle reader. You know what I mean? Like this could be anything that you're passionate about. I mean, this could be like they don't care if, they don't care if you're like say your parents always wanted you to be a doctor and all of a sudden now you want to be a musician. Yeah, that might be like a tough pill for them to swallow. So my point in bringing this up is that this sacred lust card is something for feminines to reclaim. It doesn't matter what it is for you. It could be drawing, or you're very passionate about moving to Italy, or whatever that looks like for you. It is no one can claim that for you. No one can grab that from the quantum field and build upon that. Only you can do that. Yeah, what's interesting is in the unconscious, I was just holding it, we have speak up. So we have another card. I'm actually going to just put this on this live out loud card right here. Yeah, we have another card of throat chakra, of owning your truth. What's under that? Yeah, and worthiness is also under that. So you are worthy, feminines. You are absolutely worthy to create the life that you desire. And here's Gary Vaynerchuk said something once, and he says a lot of things, let's be honest. He said something though that always stuck with me. He's like, if I'm 99% blissfully happy with my life, I am willing to completely burn my life down to the ground to go after that extra 1%, to go after that 100%. And it really struck me because I feel like so often I'll speak for American society in the US here. It feels like we're so, not trained is the word, but you get what I'm saying. We're taught to kind of settle is a very strong word, but we're taught to like be grateful for what we've been given, to kind of make the best of what we have, pull ourselves up from our bootstraps. We're kind of like, oh, like you're 70% happy, you're doing pretty good. Even if you're like 60%, anything over 50%, I feel like people would be pretty content with, and say like, oh, I don't love this job, but it's great benefits and it's safe and I could pay for my bills and my family and I can do what and I'm not degrading those things, but there also is more out there. There's more possibility. And this may be hard to hear these things because so many of us do have a scarcity mindset. But, okay, we're going in a different direction here. But we also have to honor that if you are here listening to this reading and you feel an affinity with the divine feminine archetypal journey, if you feel called to this twin flame thing, to this higher way of existing in the world, to this expanded consciousness, you have accepted ordination to anchor this level of love on the planet. So you have to trust that if you've been entrusted to do this insanely specific divine niche work in the world, that you will also be supported to do this work in the world. And if you're, a customer service rep, I don't know. Yes, you could bring your soul mission to that work that you do and to talking to people every day. However, I would bet that you would feel pretty limited in the way your soul wants to express itself in doing this work. So there's something here about allowing the beauty and the joy of possibility into your life, feminines. Okay, let's get some mermaid cards. I can't believe I've been talking this long already. Okay, anything else for these delicious divine feminines? Anything else? Did you also notice, I feel like I'm speaking slower than normal, and so there's also something about taking up more space. What do I always say? I invite us to love ourselves enough to take up enough space so that we can go at our own pace, so that we can access the truth of our so let me say it like this, so that we can access accurate discernment. That's the job, right? No one can, if I access your discernment, it's not going to mean anything for me because it's your discernment. That's not going to help me on my path because that wisdom is for you, right? So there's something here about really taking up space and creating more space in your life. And mind you, you might be saying, Karen, I already don't have time as it is. However, we all have control over the quality of our time, right? We all have these moments that are in transit, right? You wake up and you're brushing your teeth. You can think about something, or you could say the prayer that you didn't have time to say, or you could set a really sacred intention. It might take 5 seconds, so you are the only one responsible for the quality of that life. It doesn't matter how much money you have or where you're working or where you're not working or whatever. It doesn't matter your education level. It does not matter. What matters is that you recognize your own sovereignty and take accountability for the quality of this expression. Okay, so we also have ask for help. I think I mentioned this earlier, that some of you're not doing this alone. You don't have to do this alone. So stop pretending you are doing it alone. And that might be hard to hear if you feel like you really are in 3D handling things by yourself. But there is always someone that you can ask for help from. You can ask random stranger at the store for advice. And I bet I'm going to venture out and say 7 to 8 out of 10 times someone would be willing to help you. Okay, yep, we have breaking free in reverse. So we're taking accountability for our own shackles. No one else can do this for us. We have positivity. We have letting go. This is another discernment card, right? We can't let go of things until we discern which things are necessary for us to let go of. And then we have feelings. So maybe we are being called to let go of certain feelings so that we can allow more positivity to come in. Remember, energy is, yes, it's infinite and is neither created nor destroyed, but we also live in a 3D vessel, a human vessel that gets exhausted. So we sort of, in this human home, we do have limited energy. So we have to remember that we can't add something in until we let something out. You know what I mean? We can't, it's like an attic. An attic can hold only so much stuff, right? We can't take in more stuff until we clean out maybe some old boxes or old clothes or whatever else you store, old Christmas decorations or whatever. Okay, what else is here? And then in the unconscious, we have this re-energize card. Feminines, I'm going to put this right here. Feminines, there's something here that has been lying dormant in you for quite some time. There is a tangible action that many of you have put on the back burner. I don't know what that is for you. What is the thing that always 10 out of 10 times will re-energize your spirit? Is it a certain meeting with a certain friend that you have? Is it a song? Is it reading holy texts? Is it dancing around your house? Is it being with community or being with your family? There's something here, feminines, that you know will support you and will get you back to baseline. There's something that you already know of that will fill your cup, and yet you're pushing it into the shadows. So I'm asking you what that is, and I'm inviting you to take accountability and really look at why are you pushing into the shadows? What is blocking you from doing the thing that would support your health and well-being? Is it a limiting belief? Is it a fear? Is it guilt? Is it like mom guilt or sister guilt or friend guilt, daughter guilt? Is it real? Is it real, or is it a story? Is it a narrative that has, been passed down from generation to generation? That's real. Like, I know about Italian Catholic guilt aggressively in my life. It's another player in the room. It takes a lot of space. It sucks up a lot of energy. And I have to be really disciplined and diligent that if I feel that energy, to really be intentional about transmuting it so it doesn't infect my soul, right? Because that's not love. Guilting someone is not love. And we have to take ownership over identifying that. Okay, let me take a sip of water. Wow, really nice reading, really nice flow. What should we end on? I'm going to get some question cards really quick, or we'll see what comes out. Anything else for Divine Feminines? Yes, I'm going to take not all these. We have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. Feminines, you guys have done so much work on self and other. You guys have really been so disciplined and committed to doing this work. Remember, feminines are the ones who are the portal, the transpersonal portal between the realm of spirit and the realm of matter. So oftentimes the feminines get the information first. This is a double burden. Yes, we get to be the bridge and we get to touch the divine probably first. However, we also then have to bear the burden of carrying that wisdom out to our loved ones, out to the world. And sometimes that's very difficult. We have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yes, we were just talking about portals. Anything else? And then we have keepers of the earth. This is feminine energy here. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Again, you are never, never alone. And then in the unconscious, we have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So yeah, it's time. This is what's pushed into the shadow. So what are you clinging on to? It's time to bring this out of the shadows into the light and illuminate this accountability. Beautiful. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, feminines. I have nothing else to say. Please take care of yourselves, and I'm sending you so much love. I will see you in the next one.